Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen from around the world, wherever you are. Welcome to League of Tilt. Today we're playing Zyra support in the bot lane. Full AP, naturally. It's the only way to play Zyra. If anybody tells you different, they are naturally trolling. Kha'Zix, I think, will be starting bot side. Kata can not flash with maybe usually if I perma freeze. Fantastic point. Katarina does often go for greedy place because she so much mobility and 200 years behind her game design. So if you're in bush, then your little seedlings don't pop out. So 13 to 9, it's like per level, scales with level. Your passive, you just throw out seeds. Your seeds are important because you can use your abilities to proc seeds. So just now we'll be able to give Kha'Zix a fantastic leash, hopefully. These last for 30 seconds, I think, yeah. So this seed is still going to be here when her buff spawns. As a Zyra, you're capable of giving your jungler a very powerful leash. Like, look, this thing, well, if he pulled the blue buff out, maybe it would have taken even more damage, but yeah, as you can see, it dealt an insane amount of damage for like really not that much investment on my end. So if she's, yeah, okay, we're just gonna get a little bit of gold from. So Zyra, of course, very lane dominant champion. You want to make sure that you're auto attacking, avoid the mantra Q, just walk forward. Mantra Q for Karma deals a lot of damage, like her RQ is very powerful. So Karma Zyra is very much a poke lane, so it ends up being all about who's landing skill shots and who's missing them so far. I've been landing slightly more skill shots than Karma, but mostly it's not been about skill shot landing. Mostly it's just been about auto attacking. Because I forced Karma to take the long way around, she is slightly behind on her level 2. Just use the plant to poke, like it's not going to do much, so I'm just going to turn my mana into gold, basically. Karma did hit me with another mantra Q, and I did take both halves of it because I got minion blocked, but I am still zoning Karma off the wave to the extent where, Jesus, I did not expect to take that much damage from Kai'Sa. Definitely did not expect to take that much damage from Kai'Sa. Going to leave myself open here. Oh, okay. Karma shielded, and Kai'Sa used Q. Good time to walk up and fight. Okay. Junglers will be completing their clears. I know that their junglers started top side as well. So bot side, I mean. So I'm going to walk over here and make sure that he's not wrapping around after completing Scuttle Crabs. Maybe I could have done that a bit later, but better safe than sorry. And Katarina, of course, can disappear whenever. Okay, looks like Diego did decide to just go topside, meaning I can play significantly more aggressive. Okay, their ward just ran out in this brush. It gives us a bit more leeway to walk up. That's unfortunate. No. I used so many plants there. I really did think she was going to walk further forward because you don't need to be in a bush in order to activate it. Your range for activating your plants is actually farther than the bush vision range. So you do. Karma's just like using that E on cooldown. I don't understand why. Like, she's not really under threat of anything. But I mean, you know, if she's going to keep using her shield, she's going to keep using her shield, and that's that. Not much to say here. Just stay ahead, use my abilities. I should actually maybe save the plant. They're using both plants as bad. This just like gives us the push. I'm not going to throw out an E. There's no real need to. Caitlyn missed her cannon, which made me sad. And again, also your plants will auto attack whatever you tell them to auto attack. So if you auto attack something, your plants are in range to auto attack what you just attacked, then your plants will actually go ahead and switch their targets to that. So being within auto attack range. Katarina's here. We hear the pings. We see her missing. I have exhaust for her, so if she just comes in too far, then I will just run at Katarina and exhaust her. All right. I think I still want to run at people here. I'm just going to zone off Karma here. I know I take a significant amount of damage here, but that's fine because I'm trading that damage to make sure that bot lane can't interfere with the kill. Guys, I can't tank this. I'm 20 HP. I might die from the splash damage alone. Alright, I'm gonna have my plants come in. Oh, this is not good. I need to not give Viego reset. Suboptimal. Definitely suboptimal. Oh, sorry. I thought they were gonna go for me. Viego, no. Yeah, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I was super low HP, so I couldn't really be a proper part of that fight. Maybe if I had recalled much earlier. I didn't want to consume a Biscuit there because, like, while it might have survived a little bit longer, wouldn't have really made it too much of a difference in the long run. All right, I'm gonna get my Fiendish Codex, and Zed's right. Like, he's salty, but he's right. We did throw our lead by calling for that. It was a very bad call by the call because he was super low and he didn't want to tank and he wanted to pull it out. But if he wanted to do all of those things, then he definitely shouldn't have called for the Drake like he did. And this is also bad for Caitlyn. It's unfortunate because all this massive wave just gets pushed into tower. And now Viego has 4 kills, and that's a 400 years champion, if ever there was one. So I'm going to actually use my abilities on this wave. Like, I would like to save this for my ADC, but there's a lot of these minions that are just going to die. So it's like I maybe took like 1 more than she would have gotten otherwise. So I was just really just trying to take ones that got turned to tower. All right, Karma used E. She still has Q up. Dodge the second part of the explosion. A lot of damage. Man, Karma is a bitch. Land the root on Kai'Sa, but I'm low and I'm scared. The reason I'm scared is Kai'Sa can really just mess with you. Kai'Sa can really super duper mess with you if you're low once she hits level 6, and she will definitely hit level 6 before I do. Yeah, so Viego's here. I'm just gonna recall. The reason I recalled in advance there is because I knew that we didn't really have anything to do there, so there was no reason for us to stay. Like, we weren't going to be able to get in plating, and I was half HP. Like, I basically used my health as a resource to walk up to them and beat them up. So as a result, I knew that there was no point in me being there, and being there just puts us at risk because we're overextending in a lane in which we aren't doing anything. I haven't really given a rundown of my abilities, but I feel like watching should make it pretty clear. God damn, Karma Hearts! Keep buffing and nerfing Karma's mantra Q, and it's like, all right, Karma. When she's strong, she's so oppressively strong. Unfortunately, one of these, like, a very sad thing about Zyra quality of life is your seed range is just a little bit less than your ability ranges. So because your seed range is a little bit less than your ability range, you end up like sometimes throwing out your abilities without being able to throw forward your seeds, which gets messy. All right, I'm going to respect Zed's wishes here and not be here. Just here to make sure that Viego and Karma don't like turn about on him. I'm going to eat this honey fruit and they'll be completely healthy. So your W plants seeds, your passive throws out seeds. Your Q is a little, you create a small vertical line. And by creating that line, you, like so, you get to decide the line. And then once you pick up the line, you can just make it explode to she has no reason to walk up there. You can make it explode to pull up plants that have range and auto attack. Each auto doesn't necessarily deal a tremendous amount of damage. Okay, I just use all my abilities to zone them away so that Caitlyn can keep farming. I don't really want to be pushed into tower, so now this ensures that we're definitely not going to push into tower. Garen got a soul kill on Renekton, that's good. We haven't heard much out of top lane, but as long as top lane doesn't fall too far behind, we'll be fine this game. Our job right now is to just let Caitlyn farm up, create as much sort of survivability as we can for her in the lane. I knocked up the Kaisa, but unfortunately Caitlyn wasn't really able to go in for that. It looks like Garen just 1v1 the Viego though, because Viego is a jungler and Garen is a top laner, and therefore he is 2 levels up, and Viego needs to respect that. And that also allowed Kha'Zix to get in practically a free Rift Herald. I will be popping a Biscuit now though. I'm getting low, I'm getting scared. I will preserve my root. I don't really want to not have any defenses if Kaisa decides to come flying in or Karma comes running at us. But I don't think I'll be walking up to try to poke, given how low I am, because I don't have ulti and Kaisa still does. So she can just like come in and make sure that she's chasing me. Karma's in Fog of War, which I'm not terribly sure about where Karma is. But I'm just gonna do these so that it's harder for Kaisa to farm. Oh, Karma looks like she went up. She went mid lane, so I'm gonna help my Caitlyn push here. Auto attack. Punish the Karma for invading by making her ADC lose agency. I'm going to walk away here. I did see them coming in. Yeah, there's just no point. Caitlyn was walking the wrong way. I'll be walking away here. Whoopsie. Whoop-de-doo. My ult is coming up here soon, so I will be preserving that. That's going to, I think, be if not the deciding factor for this Drake fight. Anybody who walks past my plants are going to be slowed. Those are the slow plants. Your E plants do slow. Alright, I'm going to just ulti here. Because that knocks up the Katarina and stops her from joining the fight. It doesn't actually hit anybody the moment I cast it, but I know I'm dead there because I'm getting pincered off by Katarina. I think I could have picked a slightly safer position. I probably should have picked a slightly safer position, but it's fine. We managed to get the dragon and we got a kill off of that, so all's well that ends well. I'm not sure if we should get Sword Shoes or Lucidity. They're not building any MR. They have a lot of squishies. So Sword Shoes would be very strong, but you know, Lucidity, like just having a lower cooldown on the exhaust just sounds good. Because they have so many champions that are just going to try to jump in and deal a bunch of damage. Cough, cough, looking at you, Viego, looking at you, Katarina. So just having a lower cooldown on the Lucidity boots sounds good. My score looks terrible, and this is still fine for a bot laner because Karma has been roaming a lot more and running around a lot more, helping her team a lot more, but I've still been existing, like I'm behind, but I've been applying pressure. I've been like making sure that the Kaisa is not in a position really to free farm, making sure that I've been with my team for Drake fights, allowing the Caitlyn to farm up, being safe when Viego's being ganked, when we're being ganked by Viego, warding. So I could have not died more, and I could have maybe exerted a little bit more pressure. I don't think I could have exerted all that much more pressure. I definitely could have died a little less. But on the whole, this is still fine. Like as a bot laner, as Zyra, you're actually looking to scale up. You become a secondary carry for the team. Katarina, if I had been a little faster on that one, I could have definitely responded better, because I should have been able to land that root on her just as I should have been able to land that root on her as she was jumping to her dagger, because with champions like Katarina and Draven, it's very telegraphed where exactly they're going to move, and that should have allowed me to take control. What the hey? If Ka can keep... Ooh, I could have timed that better, but it's fine. I have exhaust for Viego. This is a great fight for us. He takes a lot of damage here. Like, Ka needs to jump. Zyra does a lot of damage. People don't expect it. No, he chickened out. He definitely... I blew exhaust. If I didn't... I exhausted for him. He needs to understand that. Exhaust is very, very strong. Viego's fed, but he's not fed enough to kill someone through an exhaust. Zed signaling me to fall back? Well, yeah, but he's not going to get these minions. I think he's signaling me to fall back from Katarina. Please stop, come mid. Okay. Okay. I will tell him, okay, and then I will come mid whenever I damn well please. Well, not whenever I damn well please, but whenever I think the game state would be helped by my coming mid. Caitlyn has net here, so she'd be fine. I think she would have been slightly better served had she decided to net the Karma and not just net randomly.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Garen still crushing it topside. He is in fact a problem. But the Viego has grown to be an even bigger problem. So now I don't know who wins out of the Battle of 200 Years. He still has a couple of levels on him, which is very good. So Zed might say, stop, come mid. His team doesn't respect it. Enemy team, no respect for my Zed's wishes. Ward in this brush and just zone them off. And get an auto attack off and get a bunch of damage off. So it's just poke damage, like nothing terribly scary, nothing terribly relevant. I just need to not die, by the way. And the reason I need to not die is we have another dragon coming up. So with another dragon on the way, definitely very important. Not I'm gonna control ward the dragon brush. Katarina should die here, assuming Zed follows up. And Zed did follow up. Excellent. Burst off of double eclipse is quite strong. She used her E movement speed to avoid my root. Garen is Kaisa can't really walk in here, and Viego is topside, so this should be free for us. He almost got the Viego. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to get turrets. We're going to get drakes. I don't know why Caitlyn was just like standing here instead of going at least a little bit outside. Look like Zed was doing the hide and brush technique. I'm gonna go help out the Zed who was doing the hide and brush technique. If he had Triumph, he lives there. I'm actually fairly certain of it. Alright. I should not have been that deep, but it was like partially because I wanted them to focus on me. I was hoping to do this, by the way, without having to lose my flash. Losing the flash was bad, but the going deep was part of the plan because I wanted to make sure they were more worried about me and they couldn't walk past me to get the dragon because I still have my ulti up and everything. It worked. I just needed to flash for it because I walked in a little too far. Like once my Zed died, I needed to play with so a little bit more respect. There's no point in me and Caitlyn going down anymore because Garen has broken top tier 1, mid tier 1 has been broken. It's only bot tier 1 that hasn't been broken, so this is like a safe place for Caitlyn to farm up and become a strong carry. So generally at this stage in the game, we always want... it's just throwing out my abilities. Deals damage. The reason I'm warding fully topside, the reason I'm placing so much emphasis on topside vision control is because this is where the next Rift Herald is. So that's sort of where our next target should be. I'm just going to keep staying here, make sure that Garen doesn't die because it's fairly obvious that they want to go for him. Like if I were the Viego, I would be looking at Garen here and I would be thinking, all right, I want to kill this guy. So I want help here. I think we should definitely be going here. Excellent. It was a very good ulti. Well-timed, forced both of them away. Alright, I'm out. I'm outie. This is sort of the game that you do want to play as Zyra. You want to like control zones with your plants, deal a bunch of damage, and just like use your CC and then like dip out. You are not an engage tank. So I'm throwing out these plans, by the way, because I see my Zed trying to go in over and over again. Why are we not taking Herald? Please, we need to take this Herald. I can't really take it by myself, but I think if all of us fight together for it, it will still be done in the few seconds that we have left before Baron comes up. Normally it will go away at this exact time, but if it's in combat, it does extend the duration. So I'll take that because I'm used to taking that, not really for any other good reason. Like I'm used to playing. I'm so used to playing the jungler and claiming it. Alright, I'll just make sure Viego can't really walk past without taking some damage. My plants will earn me a little bit of gold. Ward the dragon pit on the way back. And that completes my support item fully. So there we go. It now is a lot stronger. Earns me some gold, but I no longer get gold for poking people. So as a support, you really, if you don't go a support mythic, which I haven't, Leandry's is very much a mage mythic, then you can expect to like buy one expensive item. You're rarely buying more than one, because as a support you don't really expect to have too much gold income, because there's nothing really for you to farm. That's not to say that Zyra can't use the gold, or that if you get kills you can't use the gold. But Zyra is definitely, if you're going to get one item, Leandry's is excellent. And then if you're going to get a second item, depending on how much healing they have, which in this case they have a large amount of healing. Viego, where are you? In this case they have a large amount of healing because of the Viego and because of the Renekton with the Go Drinker. Okay, there's everybody, we see them. So we're all posturing for this dragon, but Garen's here, so I feel very, 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 very confident. This is a little preemptive, maybe. So generally, if you want to poke people, you'll be wanting to throw out your Q plants, but you throw out your E plants when you want to control zone, because your E plant's slow, so people can't really walk through a region where you have E plants without this list. All right, they can't take my ward here. That was control warded. So. Alright, we're going to ward that brush, and now we just have very good vision control and still have a couple of backup charges. So this is fine. And we are also going to ward this brush. Ooh, very nice. Stepping on a trap just cost Viego a large amount of HP. And I think we're going to get the karma here, to be honest. Yeah, we did get the karma, which is excellent. Ooh. Just make sure that they can't fight here. I didn't like, and when I said just make sure they can't fight here, and I ulted. Like I was hoping for obviously a better opportunity to ult, in which. All right, just make sure, because Kai'Sa's obviously gonna W. It doesn't cost her anything to take the W. I was just like make sure that we don't really lose much. I was just hoping like they could all sort of group up as a very split fight. So I just ended up using it to make sure that Katarina couldn't do more damage if she just starts to ult, but it's just like. Enraged my plants and killed her. So, but your ulti, while it does damage and knocks out, that's the obvious thing, it also resets any plants that you might have. So it resets them back to their full duration. Normally they last only for 8 seconds. And then once they reset to their full duration, then they afterwards, actually, what am I getting here? I think I'm gonna get a Rallies, because this game, my function is not to deal damage. I mean, it's to deal enough damage that it's annoying, but I'm not a primary damage dealing carry. For this particular game, I'm just sort of very much, I need to take a back seat. I need to let my Zed carry. I need to let this Garen walk where he pleases. I need to let this Kha'Zix assassinate people. Those are the strong people on my team. Zed, through some of his lead, I think he's upset after how the early game went. Ka can definitely kill Karma here. Yeah, okay. I'm hanging back because they have assassins on their team. They have like Viegos and all sorts of unpleasantness. I'm going to control ward this Baron Pit instead, and I'm going to keep them busy by finally using my Herald mid. Right, I'll just throw my Herald out. People really don't expect Zyra damage, but so I know that I wasn't really in a position to use the Herald there, but I was running out. I needed to use it, so I just used it. But I knew that they were coming for me, so I was hoping that that's what would happen. Like one of the squishies would check before like one of the tanks, or they would sort of all group up, and that would allow me to get a very good ulti, because you can't walk through Zyra ulti, right? Because this is why we ward and don't face check. Jesus, that was scary. I'm terrified. Viego's going bot side 100%. And he wouldn't do that unless he was collapsing. I don't have my ulti here. Haha! Get saved, Zed. So you see, like with Zyra, like because you're not really mechanically outplaying people, you're just sort of using your plans to control the region. It's really about knowing where to go and about following people and just like not inting like I did early game. As long as you do that, you can be more than just a nuisance. Like I landed the root on the Viego, and I knew that that root was going to land because he was in position. And see, again, see right there, I knew that Katarina was going to pick up her dagger because Katarinas usually jump to their daggers. So I threw it out early, and then that catches her, and then she's just dead because my plans do enough damage to take her down to below half HP, and then my teammates have more than enough damage. They're fairly strong. So I'm going to leave one more ward in this part of the world, and then I think I'm going to recall. Because again, there's nothing for me to take here. I can't really walk up mid lane. I'm not really farming. I can't really do Baron by myself. So there's no point in me staying on the map. It doesn't get anybody anything. So we're going to take that, we're going to take that, and we're going to come back to the map. I'm doing relatively well this game. I've gotten a couple of kills, so I have a good bit of gold. Even if you don't have this much gold, you're still going to be building either towards a Morello or a Rylai's. It appears that we have enough damage across the team, even without, and Garen has heal cut, to where we don't, oh, I don't like this. Do I need to flash to save him? Okay, that was maybe a little hyper-aggressive and not necessary, but I really didn't want Garen to die. Thankfully, I feel a lot more comfortable throwing out my ulti, just like putting it out there now, because of course it has such a lower cooldown now. So it'll be back before the dragon fight. If my ulti wasn't back before the dragon fight, I wouldn't even have considered that. Unless we were going for like just to save Garen, I wouldn't have considered it. But because it is going to be back up. Also, Zed is drawing a lot of attention. I don't think he's going to get away. But the fact that he drew everybody topside just before Drake, and that they let that happen, means that, and that after we got a turret, means that it's extremely not worth for them. We are about to get Soul, and there's nothing they can do about it because they all went to chase that. So here it looks like they were punishing a split pusher who overstepped his bounds, but really that's not like really like that's not how it ended up working. I'm not going to use any plans here. I don't need to, right? I'm just going to do that. Just slow them down. Yeah, see, the slow is good enough. The slow alone and my plants alone just ensured that Viego could not walk in. If Kaisa shotguns in here, she's not gonna have fun. Okay. Ooh, if she shotguns in here now, she might have fun. But I still have exhaust, and I don't think she'll shotgun in. I haven't seen her shotgun in once this whole game, which is also probably why she only has like 2 deaths.
Just a harmless flower.
I don't know if Karma was typing there, but if she was, she's definitely regretting. It's also kind of why we don't like walk in too far without vision, you know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck me, you know. Someday you just gotta get fucked. I'm just going to throw out a slowing plant because I just want to make sure that he gets out alive. And throw out another slowing plant because I want to make sure I get out alive. The next objective is Baron, so now I'll switch my warding topside. Again, like, I'm not making massive plays, but a lot of these plays without... Oh, I think I ulted just a midge too late there, because I wasn't sure if I needed to. I was like thinking, okay, maybe we can save ulti, but it's like, it's completely fine. I definitely should have ulted sooner there. One of the things about Zyra ulti is that, again, its range is not as much as you might expect. Like, it's actually, you have to cast it from short range against some quality of life buffs. Like, just allow Zyra to cast her abilities from slightly further away, because they're already skill shots. She already has 2 skill shots, so it's like, I don't think you're taking away that much by just letting her, like... Pretend nothing happened. Alright. Tried to take that, but I couldn't. Because it doesn't matter. Like, whether I take it or not, it doesn't matter. Yay! He let me have something. Merlunomicon. So this builds from an Oblivion Orb. We don't need a control ward. We have so much vision on the map. It's fine. I'll get a control ward. God damn it. I'll get a Rubik's Roll, not a control ward, because We have so much vision on the map, and there's no objective coming up in the near future. Like, everything is 3 minutes, so we're just pushing together as a team. Wow, Renekton is really far behind. He caught out the ADC, and the ADC survived in League of Legends. This never happens. Haha! A wild Zyra appears! Little did he expect. Feel the thorns embrace. Just all in. Does that mean I just get to throw out my abilities and take your cannon, Zed? Because that's how I'm interpreting just all inning. Whew. I'm sure I've done damage. I haven't had like fancy moments, but this has sort of been just a very bread and butter Zyra game. It's poke, 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 throw out slow plants, zone control, land some roots, make sure that your ults are in the middle of the enemy team, be as big of an inconvenience as possible. If Viego has no business jumping in here, but if he does, I have Exhaust. Yeah, Exhaust is very, very powerful, although I haven't really had occasion to use it in a while because people haven't really been jumping in because we're so far ahead. My plans too slow now, so they can actually be a very good tool for catching people out. If they continue to go in on my Garen here, I'll show them that. I'm just going to throw out my E here. Ooh. Katarina is going to jump in somewhere here. Alright, let's throw out my just deals enough damage. I could see Katarina eyeing us once we were all grouping in. And of course, as soon as we're all grouping in, Katarinas will see blood in the water and just like want to jump in. And of course, that'll convince Renekton to jump in, so I know it's a good time to ulti. And so there you go, just positioning, throwing out abilities, and zone control. Vision, just knowing where the enemy is going to be, following them, disrupting them, just setting your team up for success. Following the strong people, not being the inter, not being weak. When you realized bot side is weak side and we weren't doing super hot because we were getting ganked and the lane was going even, just take that step back. Follow up with your jungler, help him, don't tilt off of an early fight. We're actually going to honor the Garen here because without the Garen just pulling it back in the early stages of the game, I don't think we would have won that. So, yay, happiness. We're gonna check the salty people. Check the damage charts. Decent amount of damage, more than the Kazakhs, almost up there with the Viego, but again, we took a backseat this game very much as expected. Garen did a whole bunch. Runes, Electrocute did its job. Stats, crowd control score, Garen 48, 31, so Garen has silence very like all the time, and then his stride breaker, so that's where that came from. I thought my crowd control score would be a little better, but it's fine. But it just how much more it is relative to everything else does show. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's the damage. If you want to look at the damage taken, and obviously Garen did a lot. Objectives, Kazakhs was needs to be overall just everything coming together. Smart play from people on the team, just not tilting, holding it together. Caitlyn didn't die. It's just very good. So until next time, peace.